Hi, folks. So, as we approach end of another week again, we continue to wait on the cabinet meeting to announce the outcome. It continues to be pushed. I'm just hearing today from some of the media there as well that this morning that the 23rd is likely to be pushed now to the 30th. So we'll see if that's confirmed or otherwise, but that's certainly what it's looking like. In the background, what I will say is the issue has gripped these three departments: the housing department, the the expenditure department, and also the finance department. The officials in them and the ministers within them, and that's really the only show in town down there at the minute in Dublin. So there is definitely an awful lot of work going on in the background. There's no doubt about that part. I'm seeing some, but not all of it, and we'll get fed wee bits here and there. But there's no doubt that the depth of work that should have been going on, if the housing department had been up for it over the summer, they're now trying to cram a lot of stuff here in the end, and that's just being brutally honest as to where it's at. Okay, and the as far as we're concerned, our three pillars still stand and stand firm. I'll talk a little bit about some of that and the concerns some of you had out there from the last podcast in a second. But be under no illusion, we said what we wanted. We haven't moved from that, and we'll have to wait and see what they come back with. It's just how it works. Okay, we can't write their memo for them. We have to wait and see what their memo says, and then we have to react accordingly. But what we can do is put our best fist forward in trying to ensure that what goes into that memo this time has the best chance of being right straight out of the chute. Okay? And that's where we want this to be. We don't want to be dragging this on for ever more amen. We want to try and work with them to get it right, and that's what we've been trying to do here. Okay, so just be clear on that part. Um, what I will say is that if it's not right, I'm probably never more confident than I am at the minute in terms of the support we have, either directly or indirectly, that could ultimately topple this government. We have not, I'm not saying an awful lot, but we have very key disaffected Fianna Fáil TDs at the minute. Now, I'm not going to say it's all because of Micah. They're really disillusioned by their own party for different reasons, and these are not all what we would call from affected counties by any matter of means, right? And some of them have been disappointingly poor in their response, and stepping up and declaring openly, at least, what they're saying they're going to do. Some of them are saying to me privately, but certainly not publicly. So they're sort of backing two horses at the minute. Maybe they think they don't need to do that, and that's fair enough too. But if the call is made that they're needed, we'll see who steps up. But there's others outside of the affected counties very disillusioned with their own party, and they're disaffected Fianna Fáil TDs, and they're assuring me that they can be counted upon as well. I think they're looking for any opportunity, but certainly Micah, if there's a vote of no confidence, will be an opportunity, and they're claiming, we'll all wait and see, obviously, but they're claiming that they'll express their discontent with their party and their government in that forum. So all I'm saying from our perspective, it's good to have that. We always talked about Plan B. What do we do around there? We've done a lot of work with the independents to ensure that they don't, jump over onto the government side and in return for a wee backdoor deal somewhere down some other part of the country for themselves that looks after the local constituents, and be prepared to sell out the 100% redress vote on the back of, as I say, a wee backstreet deal for their own county. So, time will tell, but certainly we've put the work in with the independents to make sure that doesn't happen there either. And we know we've got the support of the other parties and the opposition side. So we're in a strong place, and we're not going in here bird mouthed to this, and we're not going in here with our tail between our legs saying, please, please, what can you give us? We are quite strong, and we are quite adamant about what it is we're looking for. So let's remember the position of strength that we're coming from here and in this whole process, and keep the spirits up accordingly. A few other things just in around that, like I've just done an interview about an hour ago there with, if you look them up, they're France 24 TV. Now, they're a 24/7 TV broadcasting company. They broadcast to 300 million homes around the world. Massive, massive coverage and exposure for us. And we'll get about somewhere around a 4 or 5 minute clip there. We'll talk them through the whole process from the beginning, where we're at now, and where the asks are, where the obstacles are, the who runs our countries in there. It's all in there. Okay, so that's 300 million homes around the world that this will be beamed out to. So again, we're not being bird-mouthed and we're not being shy about it. At the end of this month, we have Micah Pyrite delegation for Brussels. Luke McFlanagan, the MEP, has been instrumental in all of that. Joe Morgan from our own side here, from Letterkenny, is involved in the campaign. We've Anne, we've Eileen involved. We've got all the usual suspects involved in there. And, taking the case to the EU at the end of this month. And again, the expectation there is that this puts back pressure on the Irish government to go do the right thing for us here. Okay, so that's another strand that's in there. And let's not forget the other international stuff that's coming through there from the likes of the States, particularly Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Florida, where I'm copied in on correspondence as well, that's been made by congressmen to our Irish government to go do the bloody right thing. Okay, so be under no illusion about the level of support that's out there. Now, when it comes to support, I asked for support last week, and I'll talk about the renters and the holiday homemakers here. Nobody's abandoning anybody. Let's be clear on that. I think if you go back over anything that I've said, you'll not find anything that will say that or even suggest that. What I did ask for was help, and I will continue to ask for help where I think that's needed. It was responded to positively by an overwhelming amount of people, put it that way, and it has worked. It's been effective. I have RTE now coming up on Monday morning to Carndonagh. They're going to be going into an estate where we have an estate of 10 families, all rental families, all going to be homeless if there's not an answer in the form of holiday homes and rental homes are included in the scheme. Okay, so that's the power of doing that, right? So that was a response to the call out, and from both sides, RTE saw it themselves, but also there was the homeowner plight that had been put in there through the short clips that we asked for, and we certainly got the response we needed as well. And a landlord that also went and said he saw this, saw the call out. He had a big part to play in that particular estate as well, and told his own story in it, and was able to talk to some of the tenants, and it spread from there. So that's what's lined up for Monday morning, 9 or 10 o'clock. It should be on RTE1 News at 6. If not at 1 o'clock, they're intended to bring up a satellite van that they can get this beamed out and back to Dublin, hopefully in time for 1 o'clock news as well. And then you'll have the 6, and then you'll have the 9. That's why we do the call outs. That's why we look for help. And that's the results that we're looking for from it. So when we're asking, please take it in the spirit intended. Help where you can. If you can't help, then, do what you normally do in a positive way on Facebook, on Twitter, on all the other stuff. This is a team effort across the board, and all we're doing is trying to read the room as best we can, trying to see where the difficulties are, and trying to put a plan that mitigates that difficulty and allows us over that hump in the overall aim of getting what every family deserves. Okay, so we'll continue to do that. Trust us with that as best you can, and for those that again showed overwhelming support, for our campaign and the trust in the leadership of it, you'll never understand how much that means to us, because it's it's a job and a soul in the South Crack. All right, but listen, we'll just keep fighting the good fight and see how we go from there. But listen, thanks to everybody again, and have a really good weekend to yourselves. Okay, bye bye.